Hey, welcome back everybody. You're tuning in to howtoplaystock.com. Today is Tuesday, May 22nd, 2017. In today's video, I wanted to cover another video on Bitcoin, okay? I've got some subscribers who've responded to my last video. If you haven't watched that, just go subscribe to the channel. You can go watch that video. It's on just kind of an introduction to Bitcoin, but it's got some responses from some of my subscribers, and they want to see more on Bitcoin. So I'm making another video here, and today's video is nothing short of what I would consider revolutionary when it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies, okay? Now, if you're not familiar with Bitcoin, I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel. You go back and watch the first video that I did on Bitcoin, and get an idea of what it is, because this video is going to cover the 3 different ways that you can invest in Bitcoin. Okay, now these 3 ways of investing are completely up to you, but I'm going to cover each one, and I'm going to cover why I think one is better than the other. So getting started for today's video, don't pay attention to this date. I wrote that down when I was writing all this stuff down. Today's May 22nd, okay? This isn't May 19th. Currently, Bitcoin is trading on the markets at around $2,200 and like $39 or something like that. Something crazy like that. Literally, in the last, since I put this date up here, May 19th, it has increased in price by about close to, I would say, $300 or $400. Okay, now that is a huge jump in price. And if you've been paying attention to any of the other cryptocurrencies out there, everything across the board has just been surging in price when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Now, we're going to get back to the 3 ways here how you can invest in cryptocurrencies or invest in Bitcoin. Okay, and this goes for pretty much all the currencies out there. You can invest in them 3 different ways. So the first way that I like the best, that I think works the best, is something called faucets. Okay, faucets collect something called Satoshi. And if you're not familiar with what Satoshi are, Satoshi is basically what make up Bitcoin. All right. Back in 2009, when Bitcoin was created, a man by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto wrote up some scripts and had this this revolutionary idea. It was really brilliant in regards to how to create a currency, outside the system. It would not be centralized to any organization or one company or one bank, and because of that, we were able to basically create something and build something that would be a sustainable economy. Okay, now is it sustainable? I don't really know for sure. I've been doing a lot of research on this just over the last few days, and a lot of what I've learned has been nothing short of freaking amazing. And it's where it's headed. Only one can imagine. But with central banks and all the money printing and all the manipulation of currencies are out there around the world right now that are fiat, I have a strong sense and feeling that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are just going to continue doing what they're doing right now, and that's just going straight to the moon. So the number 1 way that I like as far as investing and collecting cryptocurrencies would be to go with faucets. So you collect Satoshi, and the more Satoshi you collect, the closer you're going to get to obtaining 1 Bitcoin. Okay, now it's completely free. That's what I love about collecting Satoshi through faucets. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Now, it does require a little bit of work. Okay, this is not something. If you're somebody who wants to get involved with Bitcoin and you want to make Bitcoin like right away without having to spend any money, then this isn't for you. Okay, because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that takes time. It requires literally depending on how much Bitcoin you want to collect each day, it could literally take anywhere between 10 minutes on up to, if you don't have anything to do, you can literally sit around the entire day for 8 hours collecting Satoshi trying to get to 1 Bitcoin, okay? So it just depends on how fast you want to get there, but it does require a little bit of work, and you have to be patient with it because, if you're doing it this way, you want to look at it as more of a long-term investment, okay? The other cool thing about that is when the price of Bitcoin goes up, these Satoshi that you collect through the faucets, the value of those go up as well, all right? Now, the vice versa happens when the price goes down. So it is volatile, and that's one thing that I do not like about Bitcoin for the short term is that it's volatile, all right? There's other currencies out there that are volatile as well. So you have to keep that in mind when you're playing around with these cryptocurrencies, and don't let your emotions get into it. Look at this as a more long-term investment. I'm talking about maybe possibly all the way up into the year 2021 or 2020. So that's faucets. I like that the best, and the reason why is because the second way you can do this, and this is for people who are looking for more faster and short-term return on their money with Bitcoin. You can do it quicker than faucets, but it's just buying out directly, okay? So you can go to an exchange like Coinbase, for instance. Coinbase that's all it is, just an exchange. So you set up a wallet with Coinbase, you can go out and basically purchase Bitcoin through PayPal, credit card, or cash. You can use other cryptocurrencies if you want and get your Bitcoin that way. But that's the second way to do it. So if you don't like the faucet idea that I just threw out there, most certainly go out there, set up a wallet, and then just buy directly. I've already done that as well. It's a pretty simple and easy process for the most part. Takes about 5 minutes to get everything set up. The third one here is mining Bitcoin. Okay, now mining Bitcoin is real similar to what you're doing with faucets. The only difference really is that mining Bitcoin costs you Bitcoin, so you have to have Bitcoin already in order to go mine, and it's very, very risky. And the reason why it's risky is because, for instance, I'll give you an example here. Let's say you go out and you set up an account with Genesis Mining. Okay, that's just one of them, and it's a cloud mining Bitcoin company. So basically what you can do is you can set up an account. You need Bitcoin already though, and what you do is you basically buy into contracts. Okay, these contracts are specifically for a certain amount of time. So you could buy a contract for a full year, you could buy a contract for 2 years, 3 years, and so on. The problem with this though is these contracts, the price of those depends on how much processing power that you buy for a computer that you're using. So in other words, what you're doing when you cloud mine is, well, there's two ways to do it. You can buy hardware, okay, directly for your own computer and mine that way, but that's gonna require a tremendous amount of electricity. I've heard of stories of people doing it at home, and literally it uses up so much electricity that it just shuts down the power in their house because the switches in their house are not geared towards handling that much wattage of electricity or voltage for that matter. So that's just one way of doing it. The cloud mining, if you're going to do cloud mining, what they do is they remote desktop in to a data center, and they use the hardware from a data center that has the processing power and computer speeds to go ahead and mine Bitcoin. So what you're doing is you're getting these contracts. You can expand them out for like a year or two, and then once you've got the contract set up, you can go ahead and list out how much processing speed that you want to consume through these computers. Now the good thing about this is it doesn't consume any of the electricity in your own house. So you're using something that's in a remote location hundreds of miles away, and you're just doing this remotely from your own laptop. The problem with this though is that I went into Genesis Mining and I just basically set up a fake account. Well, it's not really a fake account. I might use it at one point, but it was just a mock account, just a practice account, just to see how it works. And I noticed that the more computing and processing power speed that you want on your contracts, you know, the more you want, the price is going to go up on your contract. You could literally spend up to $60,000 of your own money on a mining contract just to get the computing speed and processing speed to speed up the process for you when you're mining Bitcoin, okay? Because if you don't have the processing speed and the power to mine Bitcoin, it's going to take you an extremely long amount of time to even get one Bitcoin, all right? I've actually done some research and peeled back some layers on this from other people that have done this. They were saying literally the return on your investment for mining Bitcoin is not there. It is not there. It takes way too long. You know, the processing speed that you need in order to get one Bitcoin is literally going to take way too long for the money that you can spend, and you're better off if you just go with faucets, okay? Now that's based on a few people's opinions, but I saw the numbers on it. A couple people on YouTube have channels that they actually go out there and they show you the numbers and the returns that they're getting mining Bitcoin through cloud mining, and it's just not there. And the other thing that I don't like about cloud mining, why it's so risky, is that they put you in pools. So you could literally spend $2,000 for a nice little contract to go mine, and then what they do is they put you in a pool with other miners to go ahead and try to mine Bitcoin, okay? And what you're doing is you're solving really complex mathematical problems, and each problem that you solve with these algorithms through these computers, it creates Bitcoin, all right? Now, at the moment, there's 16 million Bitcoin that are already in existence. That means, literally, and I got this off from Bitcoin experts, literally, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that are going to be created in the next 100 years. 21 million total. So that means out of the 16 million that are already created, we only have 5 million more Bitcoin to be created, and that's supposed to last us another 100 years so that we can stabilize this Bitcoin economy and get the currency so it's not so volatile. That's the plan, that's the goal, and they need miners to do this. But the miners, I believe, are already there, so I wouldn't even waste your time with it, okay? Again, like I said, the reason why I think it's very risky is because when they put you in these pools, it's just like mining for gold and silver. If you go mine for gold and silver and you have a mining field, if that mining field does not have any gold and silver in it, they have to pack up bags, shut down shop, and move on and try to go to another mining field and look for, silver and gold, and look for something that's going to produce silver and gold. Well, the same holds true for mining Bitcoin. So if you're in a pool and you're mining Bitcoin through one of these cloud services and they're not producing enough Bitcoin, or there's just nothing there, what they end up doing, the company, the centralized organization that has and is hosting all these services for you through their own hardware, what they end up doing is they end up shutting down the contract. Okay, so you have no control over that, and if they shut down your contract, you could literally be out. Like I said, you can spend up to $60,000. So if you spend $60,000 and you got that kind of money and you're in a mining contract for, say, like locked in 1-2 years to mine Bitcoin, and there's nothing there, they can literally shut it down and you're out $60,000. Now, does that sound like a good investment? I'm just throwing that out there. It's not. It's very, very risky, and that's what I don't like about mining. So as far as your return on investment, I would go with faucets, okay? Now you might be asking, what are faucets? I'm gonna go in here. Keep watching the video. We're gonna break down Satoshi. I'm gonna show you Satoshi and how much that equals in Bitcoin first. Then when I show you that, I'll give you a brief overview of faucets. I'll also give you in the description below here a couple of the faucets that I'm using right now. As a matter of fact, I'll give you my Facebook page because I'm going to start updating that on a regular basis for just Bitcoin faucets. And I'm going to show you the ones that I've been using and testing, and they're actually paying me out free Bitcoin on a daily basis, okay? So keep watching, and I'll see you in the next portion of this video.
Okay, welcome back, guys. Right now, I'm on a website called btcsatoshi.com. Now, this website will allow you to convert your Satoshi to USD dollars. It's going to show you basically how much one USD dollar equals in Satoshi, and then it shows you the price here of Bitcoin. Right now it's at $2,253.09. Here's the predefined values. So basically this breaks down how much Satoshi you would need to accumulate a certain amount of Bitcoin. So as you can see here, you're really not making any money down here all the way up into like 10,000 Satoshi. You're gonna need more like 100,000 on up to actually see some revenue from that. So just to give you an example, if you can get to 1 million Satoshi, which is not really hard to do, that's when you're gonna start noticing an increase in your money supply, okay, for USD dollars. So if you can collect 1 million Satoshi, you're already at 2253 in USD dollars. Now, what I like about doing it this way and collecting it through faucets is that you can take the Bitcoin that you collect. Let's say you collect 1 million Satoshi, right? You can turn around and actually sell 1 million Satoshi to another user through the blockchain. Okay? Now, the blockchain, all it is just a distributed network of people who are exchanging Bitcoin back and forth. These records are recorded in the blockchain, these transactions. So you can take 1 million Satoshi, you don't even need 1 Bitcoin to turn around and make a profit here. You see the potential in this? So that's why I like doing it this way, because you don't need 1 Bitcoin. So if you can get 1 million Satoshi, you're already at 2253. The other thing I like about it is if the price continues climbing like this amount up here is just going to keep increasing over time. So you could literally, within a year, if it shoots to $4,000, well, you just doubled your profits here. That's if you stop collecting. Now, you don't want to stop collecting, obviously. Just to give you an idea, so we'll type in $52. You would need 2,307,646 Satoshi, which is equivalent to this number in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, it's just look at these numbers here. Forget about the zeros. It's 2,307,646 Bitcoin, or Satoshi. So that's the table chart for you. The other thing I want to show you real quick is the dashboard. Okay, so I've got several of these set up. This is faucethub.io. You can use Coinbase, you can use ePay. I'm trying to think of some of the others here. There's one called Zapo that you can use as well. So I've got all those set up already, because the thing is, you don't want just one wallet. You want to diversify across the board. These wallets are nothing more than exchanges. Okay, kind of like a broker account for your stocks. So they can be hacked. Now, the beautiful thing about Bitcoin, though, is it's not centralized, so it cannot be hacked. And I have some background in this because I was in IT security for about 4 years for the government. We took certifications on IT security, and I learned a lot about hash algorithms and SHA, stuff like that. What I can tell you, just based off my background, is that Bitcoin, it's true. It cannot be hacked, and the reason why is because there's no centralized organization that controls it. There's no centralized server. So this blockchain that I'm referring to is just nothing but more than distributed computers throughout numerous different locations around the world, and there's no way to hack it because it gets stronger and stronger each day that Bitcoin thrives and people are mining Bitcoin. There's no way to hack it. The government and the Treasury have officially announced it as decentralized because they've been trying to hack it for nine years. You know, I'm sorry, 8 years. We're in 2017. They've been trying to hack it for 8 years and they can't hack it. But what they can hack is stuff like this. So you want to diversify across the board. You want to get as many of these wallets set up as possible when you're looking at collecting Satoshi through faucets. Alright? Because if one gets hacked, well, you're not out of the game. You still have all these other wallets that you can refer to. You may lose a little bit of Satoshi if that were to happen, but you're not going to lose it all. So as you can see, these are the daily payouts that I'm getting right now. These have already hit my account, so it is legit. It does pay you out Satoshi. Now, it's small amounts. Some of them will allow you to accumulate more Satoshi as you progress. And I will cover each one of these faucets at a later date. Again, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put a link to my Facebook page where I'm going to go in and update on a weekly basis for you the faucets that I'm using and why I'm using them. Okay? And I'm going to start shooting some videos on this stuff as well for the channel. So stick around if you're interested in cryptocurrency, because I will start releasing videos on this kind of stuff. Now there's another site up here. I'm not going to actually go to it because it has all my addresses on there. I don't want anybody seeing those. But it's called mycryptofaucets.com. It's a dashboard that you can set up, and you can input your URLs for each one of your hubs or each one of your faucets that you want to use, and it allows you basically to centralize to one location all of your faucets that you're using, so you can just go down the list throughout the day if you're doing this full time or whatever, and you can go down the list and just knock them out one by one. You don't have to actually type in the URLs. You can save them to a favorites list if you want, but that's what you're doing here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to a faucet for you, and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay? Now we're just going to use, I'm going to open up a new window, and we're just going to use one Bitcoin faucet here that I have in the saved list, and I'm going to show you how this works. It's really cool. Now before I get started, you see over here where it says coin generator? I'm going to tell you right now, stay away from that. Any type of coin generator that you run across, do not get involved with it. They are scams. I tried this myself with about 20 bucks just to see if it would work. Essentially what you're doing with Bitcoin generators, you're paying a miner's fee to have the miners go ahead and mine Bitcoin for you. You can set the amount of Bitcoin that you want, and theoretically the whole concept behind that is that you pay a miner's fee for, say, 20 bucks, you can get 1 Bitcoin. Well, I tried this thinking, okay, 20 bucks. For 20 bucks I could get 1 Bitcoin at the market price and turn around and sell it. Well, sounds like a great idea, but normally if something's too good to be true, guess what? It's too good to be true. So I didn't get anything with my $20 that I handed over, and that told me all I needed to know about Bitcoin generators. So stay away from them, guys. They're a complete scam. So let's get back to the faucets here. And again, I just wanted to throw that out there for you because there's a lot of scams out here with Bitcoin, and essentially this is what I'm trying to do is narrow it down for you to the ones that work. Okay, so you're not wasting your time getting ripped off, or just wasting your time in general trying to collect Satoshi that's never paid out to you. So that's the whole point behind this video. We're going to go to something called Moon Bitcoin. This is a faucet that I use. This is one of my favorite ones, actually. And what you'll do is you'll give them a wallet address once you create your address. Now, the other thing I'm going to warn you about with these faucets, see, is they've got a lot of pop-ups in here, and it'll redirect you to a lot of different areas when you're doing this. Give me 1 second here. And it can be very frustrating sometimes because all you want to do is just enter your damn address in here.
People think I'm trash.
There's a lot of ads, a lot of pop-up ads that'll come up. Okay.
Today I'm just...
So that is one frustrating thing about the faucet. But you can change that pretty quick. Just close the ads. Get out of the pop-ups. And as you can see right now, I got 182 Satoshi, right? It's been going for 12 hours. This is the total amount that I have up here. There's limits on some of these faucets, though, as to the amount that you can withdraw or when you can make a withdrawal. So for this specific site, you need 30,000 Satoshi before you can make a withdrawal. But I can go ahead and claim it. So you see my balance up here, 2,532, right? I'm going to claim this. You have to, basically all this stuff's manual to prove that you're not a robot, so there's no scripts that you can really run on these that make them run on autopilot for you. There are ways that you can automate the whole thing, and as you can see right here, look, my balance just went up to 2,727 Satoshi, okay? And then what happens is the timer resets here, and it continues going for you. Now I could literally let this website run for a full week if I wanted to. I'm going to tell you why you don't want to do that, though. You want to make a claim once a day on a website like this. And the reason why is because you get something called a daily loyalty bonus. This is, guys, this is how you can turn your Satoshi into 1 Bitcoin really fast. It's called compounding. Okay, the compounding effect. You've heard of that through dividends, investing in stocks. So your claim amount's 182. The daily loyalty bonus is 6%. I got 195 Satoshi off of that. There was my claim amount right here, 182. So they added 6%. So that's one of the ways that you can accumulate Satoshi faster in order to get to your 1 Bitcoin, is by making claims once a day instead of letting it run for multiple weeks on end. So I just wanted to show that to you, and that's faucets for you. Okay. Again, I'm going to be covering faucets moving forward. I'm going to have a Facebook page. I'll put the link in the description below for you so you can go to that. That's going to give you updates on a weekly basis on the faucets that I'm using, the ones that are working, new ones that I might try. And again, some of these faucets, I've heard, because I'm fairly new to this myself, I've heard that some of these faucets can go down. I've experienced that with a couple of them. So that's why you want to get multiple faucets going, okay? Because one can go down, another could replace it, that sort of thing. That's why you don't want to keep too much Bitcoin in these things, if at all possible. You want to get it transferred over into your wallets as soon as you can, because if something like that happens, you risk possibly losing the Satoshi that you've collected. So you want to try to get in and out as much as possible. And if you look at this this website here, moonbit.co.in, it's already collecting Satoshi for me on autopilot. So that's why I like this website, because it's a kind of an automated process that takes place. Some of the others are essentially, they, like this one right here. I'll take you to a different one. So I've already got my address in there, right? What I do is I come in here, and again, there's pop-ups in a lot of these, so you just have to be patient with it. But I'll select the numbers that it tells me to select up here. Go down here, I select I'm not a robot. and then I'm going to select the street signs. Now there's faucets in here, and the reason why I'm showing you this one is because there's faucets in here that'll automatically transfer out the Satoshi straight to your Bitcoin wallet for you without ever having to make a withdrawal. It just does it automatically. So this one's called Lucky BTC Faucet website, and I'm gonna get my reward. Oh, I've already done this one. Sorry, I have to wait 15 minutes. But basically, if we go back to my dashboard here, you see all these payments from Lucky BTC Faucet. It automatically just sends it right over to you. Okay, which I think is really cool. So you don't have to actually go in and manually withdraw. It just does it automatically for you. And yeah, that's faucets, guys. I hope you found this information beneficial. Sorry this video lasted so long, but there's a lot to it. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll be shooting videos at a a later date, going over some of these faucets individually for you. I'll put a link in the description again for the Facebook page, and that Moonbit faucet that I just showed you there. I'll put that in the link for you as well if you want to get started with this. But other than that, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a good one. Go create a good day, and remember, income is the outcome. Okay, so it's just another way for you to create some income passively, without having to spend your own money to risk losing it through Bitcoin mining. If you don't like this process, just go buy Bitcoin directly, okay? That's the other way you can do this. Or you can get involved with other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Ether, Steam, Ripple, the list goes on, Dash. There's several of them out there. If you want to get involved with some of the others, you can do that too, because there's faucets out there for other ones too. But that's all I have for today. You're tuning in to howtoplaystock.com. These are today's investors investing tips, and I'll talk to you guys later.